doing some nature walking in the bare feet. I wanted to do a walking and talking video, for one, because I just wanted to be outside, and then two, also because I've been talking to a lot of people who have been going through a lot of depressive episodes right now, and it seems that it's just a time on the planet where everybody's kind of like having to go through these hard times, I guess. But I just wanted to be able to talk about depression and different ways of going about letting go of that and moving yourself into like just being happy, or at least allowing yourself to be happy for a short amount of times if you can. But basically, going into this whole depressive thing, like I've been realizing that it's really like I've noticed that most of the problems that you think that you have are actually like problems that everybody has, you know? Like it's like we're all collectively going through the same thing at the same time. So like any of the bad feelings that come to you are also being collectively felt by everybody. And this is actually a really big thing because together, like the vibrational frequency of everything, literally like it collects, and then it's picked up by every person. So like everybody has their own vibe and their own thing, but at the same time there's this collective energy where especially in a time of like all this pandemic stuff, the collective energy is definitely moving into this state of depression. And I just like gonna give really quick about how to like move through that. And so for one, I've noticed that a lot of depressive episodes come on from staying inside too much. So the first thing to do would be to go outside and to like start getting some time outside. And this is why I'm shooting this outdoors, is to show people that that there's really not even that much sunlight right now, but like honestly, like just moving out into the sunshine is one of the biggest things that you could do to move past depression. Another thing is like sun gazing. So that's the second one that kind of links with the first, but like is just looking in the direction of the sun and taking in its energy, because basically like in this whole thing, like we're made out of light and energy, and that's actually what the sun gives off, is light and energy. So when you're looking at the sun, you're actually downloading information from the sun, and you're really like you're moving your consciousness out of the three-dimensional like closed state of mind and expanding it to be more like open, or like all-encompassing, if that makes any sense. Because like every time I look at the sun and come out and just take a few deep breaths, which is gonna be the third one, but like I just look at the sun and I feel this sense of just inner peace, like everything that I was just worrying about inside and everything that I was just like holding inside of me was just like, it just goes away, and just from looking at the sun. And I think that's amazing. But the next thing would be to breathe. So work on breathing. So just things like this. So we're just taking 30 seconds to just breathe. That's really, really good for centering and aligning yourself. And if none of that is working for you, then a really good thing to do is just to go on a walk, or like get your body moving, do some push-ups, or like just get yourself up and get yourself active, like doing something. Because that is literally one of the biggest things, is that if you just stay inactive or just keep yourself quarantined inside all the time, then you are going to end up having a lot of depressive episodes. Because and I mean, unless you really work on yourself and you learned how to transmute the energy of negativity into positivity, then you can really kind of go through your own stuff to be able to do that. But the easiest way to do it is just to get outside and like to just plant your bare feet on the ground and just literally just like that's the quickest way, is to literally go outside. And I know it sounds weird, like when you've been stuck in this big like loop of just thought patterns, but as soon as you put your bare feet on the ground, and don't even mind it being cold, because obviously it's a little bit cold out right now because it's winter, but like honestly your feet will go numb after like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that. And then if you can just mentally get past that whole thing of like the cold feet, it's kind of like taking cold showers as well. It's like it gives you this energy rush of just like straight from the consciousness, like just like boom, you just feel like so awake and alive and just like ready to go and just energized, and it just makes you feel really, really good. So moving past the breath and more into mental techniques. So one of the biggest things that you can do is to notice your thought patterns. So like really start to catch yourself when you're getting caught in these negative thought loops, and move yourself into a state of, for one, compassion and understanding and forgiveness of yourself for even thinking that stuff. And then two is just start to replace those bad thoughts when you notice them. Like, so like say I'm going into this stream of thought and you just had this a bunch of events happen, and then like you have these thoughts coming through your head like, oh, this is pointless, or like I literally, like, none of the stuff that I do in this life is meaningful anymore. Like you think of the stuff of like anything that I have to do now is like it's pointless because like blah blah blah. And then if you have awakening moments, you can be like, oh my gosh, well if everybody's just me, then well, what the hell, like why do I even have to do anything? Like I literally I'm everything right now, so like there's literally nothing else to do. And if your heart's not open, then that can cause a lot of turmoil as well. But when your heart opens, basically what happens is you start to see everybody as yourself. And then when you start to see everybody as yourself, that is when you start to become truly compassionate, because then you start to notice that all these things that you look at in yourself and blame yourself and judge yourself for are the same things that everybody else is going through. And when you realize that everybody is collectively doing the same life thing that you are, and everybody's collectively doing the exact same like mental work, and just like everybody's trying to work on themselves as well, like just to try to make themselves feel as good as they possibly can, and everybody goes about that their own way. But the biggest thing, like, really is just becoming aware of your thought patterns, and then consciously replace any of the negative thoughts that you have with positive ones. So every time that you notice yourself thinking something like anything that you would perceive as negative or depressing, replace that with some sort of positive affirmation, or like literally just think about yourself and tell yourself 5 good things that you think about yourself that you think are good things. Like, tell yourself, I'm creative, I'm intelligent, I can see beauty in things. I see a flock of birds flying by right now, and they're very beautiful. And that's one thing that maybe not direct aspect of myself, but that's definitely a part of myself, is this flock of birds, and they're very, very beautiful. And just noticing the small things is another thing. Is just when you're starting to move into those feelings, like you can really start to notice small things. So like look at a leaf, right? Take this leaf and then really look at it, you know, like look at it from all the angles. And then what you'll notice is that you can set stuff down, and then from far away, you see, I can focus on this tree right here, right? From far away, I can start to actually practice my third eye use by trying to zoom in on this tree. Like right now I'm looking at it through a camera, but like say I'm looking at a tree from in the distance, is that you try to zoom in on this like one spot on this tree and try to see everything that's going on there. Actually what you can truly do is you can actually zoom in with your third eye, and you can like magnifies things that are very far away, and you can actually like see them as if they were like right there, and you can twist them in 3 dimensions and like look at them from all different angles and everything like that. But that's just like a little bit more advanced of just like what happens after you just start to visualize and you really start to look at stuff. But literally just like start looking at the whole holistically, you know, like this whole reality thing is supposed to be something for our enjoyment, or for us to be able to experience in the first place, you know, like we're just here to be able to feel what it's like to be in physicality, and to move ourselves into a place of peace and understanding with each other instead of moving away and separating from each other. What's another thing that is good for depression? I'd say your diet. That's a huge thing. So vegan diet, moving yourself into eating more plant-based and more foods that are really good for your soul. Live foods, raw foods like raw kale and bananas and blueberries and fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. All those things that your parents told you to eat when you were a kid. That you never wanted to. But now I've been vegan for a little over a year now, and it's changed my entire existence. Literally, like, I've almost moved completely to only eating raw foods, except for beans and rice. I still eat beans and rice. But it's mostly fruits and vegetables at this point, and it's literally changed my entire life. Like, I can tell you from my heart, I literally feel 10,000 times better than I ever did whenever I was eating anything processed and all that. Like everything that you put inside of your body affects the way that you feel. So if you're feeling an 11:11, it just passes as soon as I say that too, but like as soon as you're feeling any kind of negative mood, then I would immediately attribute that to, first of all, the food that you're eating, because it's a huge thing. Like the food that you put in your body is a huge factor of like the way that you feel, even though you may not see that like consciously because of the way that you go about doing that, but it really is a huge thing. And that is one of the biggest ones as well, for suffering at least. Maybe for depression, I'm not, it still, it helps a lot, but these mental workings are definitely better for depression. Like stuff like just noticing your thoughts and becoming aware of of the thought patterns and the loops that your mind gets caught into. And that's really the biggest thing, is becoming aware of those things. But 12 again. But anyways, so I'll do one more. Let me think. I don't know. I guess just don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to tell people your feelings. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody, then put a comment on this video, or just like literally like just do something to be able to try to actively find somebody to talk to. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, then maybe get a counselor, or like if you don't have the money for that, then look into some spiritual texts, like look into like the Power of Now and like A Course in Miracles and like the Law of One and like other stuff like that, the Bible, like the Quran, like all these different spiritual texts, and start reading into those and just see the vibe that those things they carry. So right, like it's this sense of peace that is like it's transcendental from like a normal state of mind. It's a sense of all-encompassing love, and that's what you're trying to move yourself into. And every time that you feel that, it's going to bring you closer and closer and closer to feeling the peace and the joy that you're looking for inside of you. Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside today, and I guess I'll maybe make another one, but that seems pretty good for a couple of quick tips on depression. I guess I'll do the next one on anxiety. But take care, everybody.